What's up, crew? February 13th. Welcome back to the Crypto Philosophers. It has been a moment. It's like a metaverse, right? We took a pause after Art Basel, and here we woke up 2 months later. We've been cooking. We've been baking up. Market's been crazy. And my partner over here is going to take us through what's happening in the space. What's up, homie?
What's going on, brother? Happy to be back. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, man. It truly is a metaverse. It's like, oh, okay, but we're connected back to where we were in December in Miami.
Like we didn't miss a day.
Yeah, lots been cooking since we got back. After that, we've been busy in our new space, in our new studio. How do you like the new digs over here?
I love it, man. Yeah, I think one episode we should walk around. Not today, but we'll show everybody like what we're building over here.
Let's give them a tour. There's some construction happening. If anyone hears some noise, just know that we have not stopped since Art Basel, and we're here today. There's been a new president. There's all kinds of activities. So you're of all the people I know, there's a lot of people deep in the space, but you're so deep in the space in terms of what's happening with all types of coins, projects, how the market is flowing, the macro, micro. I like your perspective on macro, micro, what's happening. So give us whatever you got, man, what you've been working on, what you're seeing, and how that can translate to our audience, how people can, everyone wants to know, how do I get in? How do I get started? Where do I go? What's happening in the market? What's happening with the new president? So just give us your download, man.
Yeah, man, this is such a crazy, like I see a lot of people on Twitter, and that's like, if you really want to get the pulse of what's happening in crypto, that's where you go. You go on Twitter and you follow all the big accounts, and everyone on Twitter right now is like, what a great time to be alive because of what's happening in crypto. The whole world knows that, Trump dropped a meme coin a day or two before his inauguration. And if anyone was lucky enough to be staring at their computer and knows how to get in quickly, they all made millions of dollars, right? Because he put in, I don't know how much liquidity, but at least 50 million.
And was it Solana?
It was on Solana. He launched a meme coin. People thought it was like someone hacked his account. Usually what happens, they're like, oh no. So a lot of people didn't buy.
He posted on Twitter?
He posted on Twitter. So a lot of people were like, did someone hack his account? I'm talking about top traders that didn't buy because they're like, come on. And then, he like confirmed it, and it went up to like $40 billion in like a day.
What's it at now about?
So this is interesting, right? I'll tie into the other things later about this.
Yeah, no,
this
go ahead.
particular topic. No. So it's I think sitting at about $3 billion, right? Matter of fact, let's just confirm. Let's take a look here. And this is important, right? Because typically meme coins pump and then dump, and then maybe they'll have a second pump, and after that they flatline and they're dead forever. They almost never come back, right? But Trump's will, because he's the president. If he just tweeted something right now, it would shoot right back up. So Trump's meme coin, and I'm looking at the chart here. It launched on January 18th, pumped up. On here it's saying 14 billion, but I think it was a lot more, maybe on some exchanges. And then now it's at 3.2 billion. So it has a floor now of 3.2 billion. It has 404 million in liquidity because I don't know how much he actually injected in originally, but he's a billionaire. So he put in enough money that is, and it's locked. It's actually, it's not locked. So he could technically take it out, but he won't do that. That would ruin the whole thing. So this is just fascinating. We'll talk about those floors later, because to have a floor of 3.2 billion is nice, And
of course, what people would say is, of course, that's Trump. He's world famous. He's the president of the most powerful country, so he can do it. But how does that apply to, how does that apply to the rest of the market and what's happening? Like, what else is cooking? So
there was already a lot of action happening over the last 4 months anyway, right? The market was pumping. We had that quiet summer, right? Last March was the last time we actually had action. And then it was just quiet all the way until about September, October. Things kicked up. And, we were obviously talking about it on our other podcasts. And remember, we were looking at the bull flag and saying, look, we're getting ready to break out. And, we did. We pumped up to over 100,000. And he really set off a new phase of liquidity into memes and made basically memes popular. And I think some people maybe before this were like, I don't know, is it legal to do this? And now it's like,
when the president does it,
if the president and his wife,
a signal.
Yeah,
that
you guys can do this.
This is approved. This has my seal of approval.
If you want to launch a meme coin, go right ahead. Yeah. So, he launched it then, and then his wife launched one, and then his son launched one,
Right.
all right after another.
And so that whole concern that people were having of celebrities and can they do this and that, now
That's over. You can anybody can just do this. And since then, other people have. There was the guy who created Vine in 2013, which is, you could technically say like the first TikTok, right? You remember Vine?
Yeah,
they had
Vine, sure.
little short, I think it was like 6-second videos was the rule. And he went out and said, hey guys, I'm going to, launch my own meme coin and like relaunch Vine. And it went from zero, because meme coins start pretty much at zero. And it went to like 300 million. And let's actually see where it's at right now. It's probably pretty quiet, but.
Yeah, I remember Vine.
Remember Vine? Yeah.
So
there's another celebrity
11-second videos.
He had a lot of followers, and Vine is sitting at 60 million right now. That's
okay. So he raised capital to restart his
correct.
business.
And it went up to actually $500 million at peak.
So he probably took some
got some liquidity.
Capital.
Yeah, he raised funds.
And
the project's still doing well. I mean, $60 million is nice. That's like he's flatlining there. Now if he actually does build something, that'll come back.
Now, I wonder if, like we've talked about and like we're doing in other projects, if he's actually tying in holders to some kind of benefit, some kind of airdrop, some kind of
with meme,
tokenized.
Yeah, with just a pure
asset.
meme coin, not really. I mean, but he could build off the momentum and the followers. I mean, there is, let's see, he's got, it says it right there actually. He's got 116,000 holders.
Okay.
So there's a community there.
There's a community. Those are possible customers. They could
Sure.
use Vine. You could use the tokens to do. I mean, again, like we're doing with using tokens and/or NFTs. There's an ecosystem there and a community that he can do things with.
Exactly.
So
you can definitely build off this.
Yeah.
Another recent one that happened was last week was Dave Portnoy, Barstool creator. Pizza reviews and everything.
Yeah.
He somebody created a meme coin about him, and it was a jail stool, right? And somehow he found out about it, and they sent him tokens. I don't know, maybe they saw he had a public address, whatever. I don't know exactly how it happened, but he saw it and he thought it was funny. He liked it, and he's got a couple million followers. He tweeted about it. He bought some, tweeted about it, and it shot up to like 300 million, like that. I was actually watching, but I was busy. I was doing stuff, so I couldn't buy into it. And now, let's see where that's at. 60 million. Still at 60 million. That's decent,
So you just mentioned something interesting, right? Because this goes back even before crypto. People talked about being a trader, being a day trader. You look at Wall Street and Wolf of Wall Street. It's like you either go the formal route and become a trader through that means, or people become day traders. They take some money and it's basically full-time. I mean, in a sense, could be considered like gambling, but there's also an investment methodology people take to succeed in day trading. And when you're talking about things like catching things it's all about timing.
It's all about timing.
I've never been in that because of my gambling history. It's like, I like to be a little careful about that. But what you're talking about really seems like it requires daily active chunks of time, because if you miss it, you miss it. But you got to be watching 100 things to find the 3 or 4 or 10 that you're going to take shots. You're going to win some and lose some, right? I mean, do you want to talk about that?
I'm going to show folks right now, because I'm sure a lot of people who will watch this, are just like, I see all these people making millions of dollars off these trades. How do I even start, right? So there's 100,000 coins launching a day, or whatever the number is now. I mean, you can watch it. It's insane. You can actually see it happening. I mean, I'll pull up. So if you go on pump.fun, by the way, you're not going to be able to trade fast enough on that platform. If you're on Moonshot, on Dextrainer, which a lot of like new people will tell you, go on Dextrainer and just look on Moon. You're never going to be able to have an edge. There's basically new tools like this one right here, which is Neo Bullex. So all the top traders right now that have been, trading meme coins successfully and found a methodology that works, they're using this tool. It's how you can.
Is it a web page or is it an extension or an app?
I think they have both. I think it's a web page. It connects with Telegram. They have other extensions they use, like Nova. Nova's a bot on Telegram that you can put an extension into this and make your buys and sells even faster.
Got it.
But I think Neo Bullex, because it's so popular, they're like kind of It's like Google and Microsoft. They're like, no, we don't want yours. So they're upgrading their software too, so people will just use theirs.
Well, that's good alpha right there.
Yeah, this is great. So Neo, you have the Neo view right here, right? And then they just came out with Hypervision, which is in beta mode. It says right here, but it's super fast. And I actually have filters here. So these here right here are the new creations. These are about to graduate, meaning once they hit like a certain market cap, they'll graduate from Pump.Fun or Moonshot and go into have the liquidity locked on one of the decentralized exchanges like Radium if it's Solana, or Uniswap if it's Base Chain or Ethereum, and then we Pancake Swap for BSC, right? So I have filters on here that are showing like if the insider trader wallets are more than 25%, I don't want to see it. You know, and this actually it tells you how much people have. Like if there's so many metrics in here to see if it's a scam or not.
So you can create your filters in such a way. And these are the kind of things in this conversation and in follow-up when we post on our website. I want to have a one-pager where you give people top 10 things, right? Just like that sign on the door there, 10 things, 10 rules. And I think that would be of tremendous value. The tools you're saying, as well as here's top 10 things to look out for that means this might be a scam. And if it's check or X,
they're actually very easy to see.
Talk about some of them now, like more than 25% is one.
So if you're looking, like you see the Matrix in the movie, and they're in the Nebuchadnezzar looking at the screen of the Matrix. If you don't know the language, it just looks like, well, what is that? It's just, digits moving down in like this green cool pattern. But if you learn how to read it, you know how to read it, right? And I've been doing this for 8 years, so I know exactly what to look for. And I even have to constantly update my training because the market's moving so quickly. So like these tools didn't exist in the last cycle in 2021. So you had to just kind of, you had to look for certain things that were less obvious. Now it's much more obvious, but you can still buy a rug or a honeypot or any other scam. They have a bundle scam now.
Right.
They call it a bundle, where they're just like the guys are buying up all the supply, but you can't really tell. And then as people buy into the project, they just sell all the wallets. Right? Because the liquidity is actually locked, so they can't steal the liquidity. Yeah. But if you own 70% of the token and it goes from 0 to like $5 million, and you just dump all of that at one shot, it just crushes it. Yeah. It's over. And that literally is 99% out of all the projects. So to find the one, I'll say the best way is you've got to have your Neo bullocks ready to go. If you're doing meme coins, you have your Neo bullocks ready. You got your filters. You're watching them, and you're on Twitter, and you're waiting for some sort of celebrity like CZ. Here's a perfect example. This morning, CZ, the founder of Binance, who has $60 billion, whatever he's got, he literally was like, "This is fascinating, guys. Your meme culture." He just got out of prison. Remember, he did 4 months for like whatever he did, but he's free now. And he said, I'm going to post a name and a picture of a dog, right? And everyone got all crazy. I mean, you saw me earlier trying to like figure it out what it was. So everybody went and looked through all his old tweets and tried to figure out what's the dog's name and what's the picture, right? Yeah. And people started buying all these different dogs, hoping it was going to be the one. Yeah. So then he posted the dog, and it was Broccoli was the name of the dog. Yeah. It was, I think, his dog. It was a German Shepherd or something. So all the other projects that everybody bought into were pumping since yesterday, from $100,000 up to like 50 million, some of them, right? One of them was Brownie. There was a couple different dogs, and all those dumped to nothing just like an hour ago. And since Broccoli didn't exist yet, there was literally, I mean, you can see it right here. There's already 2 Broccolis just got created in the last second. And they're definitely scams. Yes, yeah, like, you got to, and he even said, CZ tweeted, he said, guys, I'm not actually going to launch a meme coin. I was just showing you my dog and made the best meme win. Yeah. So he just like sent everyone in a frenzy. Yeah, but if you're a good trader, you can put a little bit of money on a few of them. And some of those, even just in the last hour while we're filming, could be like doing 10x's and 20x's, and you can make really good money if you know what you're doing. So
let me pause for a second. So I'm going to play the role of the neophyte that knows nothing about this. I mean, I obviously know more than nothing, but on behalf of our audience and anyone who comes into this space, this world, I mean, Crypto Philosophers is about connecting with the highest level of cutting edge tools that you're introducing, but at the same time, we're building the bridge. and we want to connect so this is accessible to everyone.
We just put the links to these tools so people can have access to them.
So check down below for the links to the dictionary of or the glossary of all the tools that we're talking about. We'll end up linking to all of them in the footer in the description.
And there is a way where you actually can make money, like consistently. There's a methodology that you can follow, but you have to learn how to do it. And it's not just being able to do it technically, but you also have to control your emotions. That's like the key, because so many people, and I've done it in the first few years of me trying to learn all this stuff, I lost a lot of money, like being emotional. Like people, I catch stuff late, like if you go to try to buy broccoli right now, you're done. Like it's just not even worth it.
It's too late. It's already high.
You would have had to be sitting there watching CZ's tweet, have some funds ready, know exactly what you're going to spend, buy into it. And on this platform too, you can buy in, and then you can set a stop loss, and you can set a take profit. So then you don't have to worry about your emotion. You just set it and let the market do what it does. And you have to be comfortable losing the $100 or the $1,000 or whatever you're investing. And if you have that sound strategy, you'll make money. You'll lose sometimes, but you'll end up making more than you lose if you do it properly.
Right.
Just like stocks.
Right. And so let's say this again as the disclaimer: we're not giving any investment advice.
No.
We're just giving you
Education.
and sharing,
Yep.
and especially Jay in this case, sharing his process. So now, as your friend and business partner and all the things we do together, I'm going to play a role, and you give me advice on this basis, right? And we'll break this down for the audience. You make your own choices, guys. But okay, I'm going to pretend I know nothing about crypto. I have a phone, I have internet access. I don't have any tools. I don't have any crypto, but I've got $1,000. I don't have all day. I've got a full-time job, but I'm willing to, as part of your course. And by the way, you will have a course very soon, right? To be teaching this.
Possibly,
right?
yeah,
Hopefully.
sure.
But for now, I'm your friend. I have $1,000. I want to learn how to do it. So tell me what I need to do with my $1,000. And I've only got an hour a day. I can't sit there all day looking for getting in and out at stuff. So I got an hour a day. I got $1,000. I'm willing to lose it and risk it because I've got other money in other places. So tell me what I need to do. Give me a few steps how I'm going to start deploying that into the stuff you're talking about here.
You can't. And that's going to probably be a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like if you try to learn how to buy meme coins and you've never done crypto before and you've got a full-time job and you only have an hour a day, you're going to lose all your money.
Okay. So got it. So so it's a non-starter.
Yeah. There's
other options.
So there's different levels of investing into the market, just like in stocks, right? You can just buy Apple and just wait 5 years, right? I mean, Apple's been going up forever. Or the next AI project, for example. That's probably the safer bet right now.
Right.
Buy a startup AI and just hold it for the next 5 years. That's simple, right? Then there's hunting for like some random new, stock that is controversial and because you think it's going to do a lot higher of an X. That's a little more risky. Then there's leverage trading. Now where you're borrowing money from, the market, whatever platform you're using, and they'll give you so much leverage that in the day, if you're like down, they'll actually charge you like you lost in a bet. You know what I mean? Like that's brutal. Like that's like the level that you don't want to get into unless you're really good at trading. So same thing in crypto. So if you're telling me you're my friend and you say, hey, I've never done anything in crypto, I got $1,000, what should I do? I would recommend just to buy like one of the top 10.
Okay,
or
so
top,
get a Coinbase account and just
buy a top 10 project,
or Bitcoin, or
and just hold
Solana.
it, and like hopefully you'll 2x or 3x your money, and by the time the bull runs over. And I would watch and make sure you're watching the cycle, and at least just watch a couple of YouTube videos about how the Bitcoin cycles work. So we're in the fourth one right now, and typically they last 3 years of up and with some downturns, and then 1 year of just bear market horrible dumping. Right. So you have to watch that and put your 1,000 in, and if all of a sudden in the next 6 months you're at 3,000, I would take out the 1,000 that you put in plus maybe another 500 or 1,000, so you're up and you're profitable.
So I've already gained 50%, and I've got 1,500 plays. So as an example,
that would be the correct way to do it.
One of my family members that was interested back in 2017 when we were going with things, and I think Bitcoin was at about between 17 and 18 and 20 maybe. And I showed him how to do the whole thing, and he put 5K in, and he's still holding it today.
Perfect
so
example,
he's
right?
got 25K.
There you go.
And he's happy.
That's
so
smart.
He's like, what's next? I'm
Right.
like, well, Super Base is next, right? Let's come on in. Blue Whale is next.
You're welcome for making 20 Gs.
Yeah, okay, helped you make that. So put some in. So he's interested. He lives actually in Jersey City. So I think so that's what you would recommend. And I think that's sound. Because what happened is it did go down.
During the bear
down
market.
To like 10. It's like, oh no, I lost. And I'm like, hold, you know?
Yes.
Hold
if you're not going to trade, just buy and forget. You know, and you'll in crypto, because it's a growing industry, you're gonna make money.
Right.
My father was the same. He bought some, and then he's watching it, riding up.
And now, of course, with what's happening with Trump and the administration and Doge, a lot of people are finally opening up, and they're coming in at another level, which is fine, because where's Bitcoin at today, roughly? About
95.
Okay, so we're right at that mark. What if you had to make a prediction? I know it's not financial advice. A year from now, when we're in February 2026, if you had to make a bet, where do you think? Give me a range where Bitcoin's at, or give me a number.
Well, I'll tell you, according to the historical patterns of the 4-year cycles, but everybody, all of the smart people that have been around for many cycles, they're all saying the same thing, that the cycle might change now because we have the first, crypto-friendly president, right? So we might have an extended cycle right now, or super cycle.
Right.
But according to the tradition, what would happen is, and it happened 3 times already, so the same way. And we're technically following the same pattern right now. We're in it. So this should be the last year of the 3 years of the bull.
Yeah.
And usually this is the most exuberant explosion. There'll be a blow off top.
Yeah.
And it would happen anytime from now until November, December. And typically it happens in the fall into winter. So if we follow that pattern, we follow that pattern, we should be at 120, 150, maybe even 200,000 by October, November, and then we should start dumping hard in January, February. Right. All next year should just be dumping, and Bitcoin. Let's say Bitcoin does pump up to 200 grand by November. Yeah. Right, and everything's going crazy. There's a huge altcoin cycle. Yeah. ETH at 10K, Solana. ETH at 2,500 right now. Solana's at $200. Solana would be at like $1,000, $2,000. Meme coins would be going insane, and then. We would dump back down probably to where we are now.
Got it.
So Bitcoin would dump next year all the way back down to 100K, maybe even like 70.
Got it.
Scare everybody. And that would be the moment you'd want to have as much cash or dry powder or stable coins as possible to buy in when Bitcoin goes all the way back down and everyone says it's over. Because I've seen it happen 3 times now.
Got it. Okay, so we could be around this where we're at now after a huge jump.
Or next year, because we're in this new cycle, because Trump's just like, crypto, let's go. We might be at 200 and be like waiting for the next leg up.
Right.
That's also a new possibility, and we'll find out, right?
Got it. Okay, this is great. So we talked about the micro trading. You gave us a little macro. Now talk about some of the projects that let's talk about the entrepreneurship of who's building what in the space.
Great.
I know you got some new things. We've got things that we're working on together. Obviously, Blue Whale, and we're going to have an episode of the Whale Pod following this with another guest, which will be pretty cool. Talk about what you want to talk about. It's a good chance to do a little presentation on what makes that interesting, and just explain it from the top.
So I think first we'll start with Blue Whale, and we launched Blue Whale March 11th, 2024. So 11 months ago. And it started off as just a meme, right? It was just Billy the Blue Whale, Billy to a Billy. And I talked about it on, one of the other episodes. And then, we pumped up from 0 to like 3.5 million, which is a nice run. That's typical for meme coins, because everyone's like, oh, new meme coin. The team's not scammers. And then it pumps. Everyone takes their profits. We drop down. Then we had our second pump when we went to Miami, because people could see, these guys they're still building. We pumped up to 1 million. So we've now had a typical meme coin double pump. First one bigger, second one smaller, and now everyone took their profits again, and it's just flatlining, right? The difference of what we're building with Blue Whale is we started as a meme, but now we're turning into an ecosystem, as you can see here, right? So, and Arman, you put Arman on something like this, and he's just like, he just turns it into this big thing that now we're building, and everyone's excited about it. And we've had the NFT launch back in December in Miami at Art Basel, and we've got these like trading cards with the characters on it. Armand has built a space now we're sitting in now, because the studio used to be upstairs. Now it's down here, and there's what's the square footage? Like 7,000 square foot retail space right now, where it's called Basement Sports. It's a gym for kids in Jersey City to come like learn and have this interactive experience with sports and tech. And parents love it because, you know, especially in the winter, the kids are stuck in the house. They want to do something. And Armand has taken Blue Whale and made the whole theme of this space with the characters. So the kids are loving it. And so we're going to keep building that project. Like most meme coins just have their pump and then they die. But we love what we built. So we're now turning it basically into a utility project. We're taking a meme and bridging it into the real world. And eventually, when there's enough value built in this podcast, the other podcasts, the Basement Sports space, then somehow we're going to be able to share that with the community of token holders and NFT holders. And that's where a lot of projects are moving into. And I'll give you an example, right? In 2017, the first cycle was just Bitcoin. That was the thing. That was in 2011, 12, like that time, right? Then you had 2017 was the ICO craze, where everyone was just pumping money into the next new thing. And then the third cycle was NFTs and DeFi, right? And now this cycle is all memes. But everyone's talking about RWA. It's like the new thing. Yeah. And it hasn't really happened yet. People are building it, and that's what we're doing with Blue Whale. Real world assets. So you're like somehow connecting people in the real world with the metaverse of crypto and having them benefit each other. And so the next cycle, I believe, is when you'll have that explosion of those projects. Yeah. Meme coins aren't going anywhere, by the way. I think every cycle is going to have the meme coin craze. And the reason why is because a lot of the ICOs were like insiders. You know, people that already had money, like Wall Street folks, were the ones that were making all that money. Yeah. I mean, if you were lucky, you could get in, but there was a lot of restrictions. Meme coins is just anybody. And you're not even raising money. You're just launching a token and letting all the people jump in. Now, scammers have found ways to manipulate it, and most of them are scams now, right? But it's still the only thing that I've ever seen where just some regular person who has a regular job can get lucky and buy a token on one of these exchanges and take $1,000 and turn into $1 million in 5 hours.
Isn't that like playing the lottery?
Speaking of lottery, so
that's a good segue.
2 days ago, actually in the last cycle, I met a couple devs on a project, and Adam, our other partner, he in January, it was like after the bear market, he's like, "Hey man, it's time you taught me about crypto because I know you know all about it." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll show you." So I went in and I hunted and I found this project called Lottery. It was just launching, and we both put like $8,000 on it because I said, this is good. Trust me. I'm hunting through all these crappy projects. This looks amazing. We bought into it. And the two developers, they had a bug in their code. And I was texting them like, I was on Telegram, like, please don't steal our money. You know, they're like, no, we're going to take the liquidity out and relaunch it because there's a problem with the contract. They're like, sounds like a scam. Damn it. Like, I'm losing my $8,000, you know? Mm. But they came through, they relaunched it, and it worked great. And we became close with them, became friends with them. So the community was there, you know, because it had its pump and then it kind of died down with the bear market. And the community was begging them, please relaunch this. It was such a cool project. And no one's really doing DeFi anymore because in meme coins, nobody actually has to code. Pump.fun automatically does the coding for you. It's like going to LegalZoom to build your business. They don't even have to do anything anymore. So no one's even coding. So these guys recoded the whole platform with all the new wisdom they have. And for the last 4 years, they were like consulting for other projects, right? So they just relaunched 2 days ago. I'm the community lead now because it's something I like to do. So I'm helping them out in the Telegram, banning scammers and helping do Twitter raids.
The project is called LOT.
It's called LOT. It's called Lottery Token. It's on Base Chain. We'll put the link in the description for you guys to check it out. So basically, it's so simple. It's a decentralized lottery. So if you go to the corner store and you buy $20 worth of Mega Millions, maybe you'll win, but the odds are really low. But if you win, great. You win all these millions of dollars. If you don't win, you lost your $20. And you don't really know what happens in the background, right? Whereas with this, it's completely decentralized. So you put 20 bucks into a wallet. So you buy a lot and you just leave it there forever. You're in the lottery for infinity. As long as you don't sell those tokens, you just leave
Every
it there.
time there's a winner, and you're not the winner, but your ticket is still valid.
It's still
for
valuable.
The next one.
It's still valuable. So let me explain how it works. So every time someone buys, sells, or transfers their tokens, the smart contract pulls out a tax. It takes 7% out. So if you put $100 in, it takes $7. It puts $5 into the lottery pool. $2 go to the developers to further develop the ecosystem, launch new games, and get listed on exchanges.
The revenue, in a sense, for the system management.
Exactly. And then as soon as the pool fills up with 1 million tokens, then the smart contract, and they're using Chainlink's VRF, verifiable random function.
Got it.
And it looks through all the wallets that have the minimum in them, and it just picks one and it sends the tokens to them. And right now, those tokens are worth, like, if you win today, like Dave actually won, one of our mods, it's like $400. But the market cap right now is at 510,000. So it's very low, right? And with meme coins, people just buy the meme coins, and then if they make profit, they sell them. If they bought at the top because they're inexperienced, when everybody sells and takes their profits, they lose, right? It's a game, right? It's basically like playing a video game. And there's no reason to hold a meme coin past the profit taking. Just take your profits and move on to the next one. With this, because it's a utility project and you're in the lottery for infinity, there's a incentive to hold just even the minimum, right? Just $20. So the marketing plan for the project is to just expose it more and more to the crypto, because people love this, especially crypto folks. You get 1 million people buying $20.
So how long has it been available?
2 days
to buy. So for the last 2 days, people can actually buy the token. It's Solana, right?
No, it's actually on Base Chain.
Sorry, you said that. Base Chain. So on Base Chain, you could buy it, and what's the minimum amount to get a ticket? Is there an amount for one ticket?
So basically, you just have to have 20,000 tokens right now, and that costs probably like $8.
So for $8 today, which could be $10 tomorrow, the higher the token price goes, the more it's going to cost to get a ticket.
But because the developers want everyone to be able to access this, in the contract, there's certain things in the contract that they can change, and that's one of them. They can lower that minimum, because if all of a sudden it's worth $10 million, then 20,000 lot is going to cost 20 times the amount. So it's going to cost like $100-something. So they're going to lower that minimum constantly as the price goes up.
Yeah, that's one of the keys, I think. As long as there's an
Keep
entry
like
point that's affordable, you can
Yeah.
get in for $10, and maybe there's multiple. Okay, fine. If you want to spend $1,000, you'll get more chances to win, right?
And you can split up. You can take $1,000 and you can split it up into as many wallets as possible, which will up your odds.
Got it.
And then what's cool too is, like, you buy the ticket. Let's say you bought it today for $8, right? And then the price goes to $100 million.
Your ticket
is now worth a lot more, and you can actually spread it out into more wallets, because the
So you
the
can't
minimum
do it
will be
in
less.
one wallet. You can't have multiple tickets, technically.
Well, you can.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
because
Okay.
it's how many.
Got it. Then you don't have as many chances to win, though, because of the wallet
Right.
address is
If you got $10,000 in one wallet, you're only going to benefit from the price increase.
You're limiting your chances to win.
Correct.
You might as well spread it
out.
So that's very cool.
Well, actually, I would recommend, and I'm going to be talking about this as we promote it, I would recommend to crypto people to have both. So have as many of the small wallets as you want that you're just going to hold forever, because you're always going to be eligible to win the lottery. And then have your 1 or 2 larger bags that you're using for trades. So like right now at 500 market cap, that's nothing, especially if this does well. If it goes to 100 million in market cap, I mean, how much is that from here? That's
200x.
200x, right? Yeah. That's a nice. So if you put $1,000 in, now you've got 200 grand.
Yeah.
And I would put, like, if depending on your size, I'd put like 5 or 10,000 and just wait. And you've got 50 other wallets with the minimum in it. But that big bag is your profit-taking bag as the price increases.
Got it. So lot token, 2 days old, on Base Chain. Check it out. What's the website?
www.lotterytoken.net.
Lotterytoken.net. That's real easy.
Super simple.
And I want to ask a couple more questions. As you're on that website, will you be publishing information like, this is how many tickets there are today, this is how many have bought?
I'll pull it up right now so everyone can see. So it's
pull
such a simple dashboard. Right here it just says lottery token. There's a little wheel here that shows how much is in the pool. So you know when it gets to like 98%, the next time someone buys, sells, or transfers, it's going to trigger the lottery, right? Right here, it tells you how many holders, what your chances are of winning.
So read that information.
Yeah, so it's
how many
right now there's 1,664 holders, so it's very early.
All right, that's
right?
good though.
You got 1 out of 1,158 chances of winning, which is pretty good odds.
Similar to the holders, pretty much, right? Yeah.
And then the price is 0.00047, and the market cap is 470. Right.
And then what's that percentage wheel? Is it at 90%?
It's at 5.4% now because somebody won just like an hour ago.
Got it. So every time it fills up to 100 is when it pulls and it pays. Then it starts back to 0.
And now
this can happen multiple times a day.
It can happen 50 times a day depending on volume. And what's cool is you get 1 million tokens, and 1 million tokens right now is worth $400.
Right.
But if we're at $1 billion market cap, which happens all the time, now each winner is winning $1 million.
Got it.
That's pretty awesome.
This is cool. So later today, let's have that meeting with the Blue Liner team and see how we could get involved.
Yeah, we need you to market this, man. We need people to see it because I know if they see it, at least.
Well, it starts here. It starts with this conversation and what we're showcasing, and clip this up and get it out, and then the influencer strategy and all the things.
Yeah, we need a celebrity. I'm going to work with a couple celebrities to talk about it. By the way, one more thing on the dashboard is, a couple of things. The contract's fully audited. The contract is also open source. So if you go right to Basescan, where the holders and everything are, you can read all of the code, so you can see it.
And the team is doxed? I mean,
I'm the only one that's doxed in the team. So here I am. Right.
How many core people are there in the team? Who's the core team?
8 of us. And there's a little thing on the bottom I'll show you here.
It shows.
It's like I forgot the name of this animated series, but the devs love it, so they gave us these characters. Obviously, if you need to communicate with us, Telegram is the best way to communicate to people in crypto. Right. Twitter is the best place to get additional updates, right? So those are really the active.
So do you know the Twitter handle? I know it's all on the website. But
we'll post it in the comments because I don't know the exact.
Post in the comments and just make sure it's on the website footers and all that. I'm sure it is. Yeah. Telegram and Twitter is where we're mainly at. How about isn't there a TikTok whole thing going on?
I've been doing TikTok. I'm doing TikToks, and then we have a Discord from. They have a Discord from 4 years ago. But I don't know how active it is, but we can check. But the links are here. And also the winners, whenever someone wins, it's listed on the website, and you can check in the blockchain and see it.
The wallet.
It's all transparent. It's all open. It's really nice to see.
All right. Well, the wheels are already turning.
I'm sure. I think we got Armand. You know what that means. He's going to turn this into this
Well, listen, I've had a lot of things with gambling and my system for NFL portfolio, and I've backed off from that. And
but this isn't gambling; it's different.
No, I know, but I'm not trying to say it as to be against it. It's like I'm interested in the space. There's odds and everything. My brain works in numbers and code. So when I see odds, okay, blackjack. How do you learn the system? How do you play by the rules? How do you win? How do you beat the house? Which isn't easy to do. And in this case, it's very interesting because there's the house and then there's also an investment. So I think it's an interesting, and people are buying lottery every single day, trying to win $1 in a dream. So I'm thinking about what's the tagline, what's the marketing, what's the branding, how do we fuse that with the announcing the winners and, we need influencers, of course. Any project does well with a celebrity. That's the easy answer. And of course, we're going to pursue that because we're connected with some folks. So, but how do we build up the base to then have those people come in the way FanDuel and all those guys? Of course, they've got
everybody,
millions, so they can pay Kevin Hart and all those guys. And I don't love that, frankly, because I don't love that they're promoting sports gambling for kids and stuff. So I've got my issues with some things in gaming.
Right.
This could be seen as different because you don't have to risk it all. It's not an addictive gambling thing.
You just put money on it and forget about it, and you're in the game.
You put it in, you're in. You bought a ticket. It's like that's when I look at casino gambling. It's different because I can go to Vegas or Atlantic City with $1,000, with $500, play blackjack, win or lose, and you walk away. Sports gambling's different.
Yeah, it
hooks you in, and it's like you check every day, and there's a game on, and it's a different hook for me at least, and other people I see.
The movie with Adam Sandler, where he was like the jeweler, and he was so addicted to the sports betting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's dangerous, and it's something I want to talk about in these shows, and even call out some of those celebrities and say, you're a role model. Do you know what you're promoting? And so for the people we get involved as influencers, I want to make sure their audiences know Like if it is, let's say Drita, for example, hypothetically, okay, she's talking to her audience saying, hey, here's how you learn about crypto as an investor. Here's some people that know about it, do your own research. Hey, here's something that's cool I'm involved in and it's related to this. And it's like $1 in a dream, like that kind of thing, as opposed to, hey, let's promote FanDuel and you have this app on your phone where you could gamble every day. To me, I don't want to be involved in something like that. Even if they wanted to pay us $1 million to be their marketing agency, I would say no, because there is an ethic to that. But this is clean. It's audited. Like you said, it's something people can get involved in without breaking the bank.
Well, it's great too. Like the crypto folks, they're so busy like hunting the memes, and it's such an emotional roller coaster. Even the good traders, it's like sometimes they get stressed because they lose too. Sometimes they lose a lot of money on certain trades, and they gotta deal with that. Even if they got $5-10 million, you lose $2 million in a night. It hurts, But this is like a little breath of fresh air for them, because it's like, oh, cool,
it's a game.
Yeah, I can put like $100 or $1,000 in this and forget about it. And the key is as those, you get the 1 million people to buy into it, and they all put $20 in. Now you've got $20 million in as a floor, right? Because people won't sell that. So the project, just like we showed Trump's, is at $3 billion because he put the money into it. This would be everyone pooling money in, and they're all like in the game. And then the trading would happen above the 100 million. So now the price would fluctuate to $1 billion, drop back down to 300 million, and like move around in there as the traders are, swing trading and doing whatever they do. But that floor is so critical because it doesn't really exist in many projects organically unless you have a ton of cash to create that floor, right? So that's one thing I like about this project also is that we can build that through just exposing it to people. I've been in the space forever. I know if I wasn't working on this and I saw it, I'd be like, wow, this is cool. Like I did when it first launched 4 years ago.
I like it. I like that you supported the developers. I like that at least part of the team is doxxed and it's you. So you can come to Jay. Now I'm talking about it. You can come to us. We've always been transparent about what we do with Blue Whale and in crypto and in business, because I don't see any reason to hide. The only reason is like a celebrity that doesn't want to know where their podcast
You
is
convinced
filmed.
me to dox, actually. Originally, we weren't doxed in Blue Whale. And you were like, we should just show people. Like, what's the big deal? And I was like,
here's who we are. Right?
right.
And let's show up. And we're going to have some successes, some failures. And that's the game of entrepreneurship and the game of life. When you're in a box and you have fear, it constricts you from moving forward, from taking risks. But we have to take measured and calculated risks, and sometimes just go on a feeling into something. And we're not proposing for anyone to risk all of their savings and get into crypto. We're just trying to provide some information. And, we definitely welcome questions, ideas, proposals for, topics you want to hear more about. lotterytoken.net, right?
Yep.
So we're going to wrap up for today. A lot of great conversation. We talked about trading strategies. We talked about macro, and we talked about one specific project that is brand new that we're optimistic about, but we'll certainly keep checking back on it. And that's, I guess, a wrap for today, man.
Yeah, I'll leave folks with one last thing. So, if you are interested in crypto or you're already into it, this could be a crazy year. So I would definitely, if you're in there, have some dry powder. You never know what's going to happen, right? This cycle. And
dry powder meaning
you've got capital, like you've got your stable coin, whether it's USDC or even just Solana, ETH, whatever you're trading on, BSC. BNB is actually having a really good cycle right now. CZ's pumping it back up. So have that dry powder in those areas and be ready for big things to happen, and if you've got a lot of capital, I would definitely be holding some of the bigger tokens and just be on the lookout for when things really do start tanking. Because, in the cycles, it always goes big pump, small dip, big pump, small dip. And during those small dips, you never know which is the last one. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
And in the bear markets, it's the opposite. Huge dump, little pump.
Right.
Huge dump, little pump. And then, you just gotta know what you're doing. But so stay safe out there, guys. I look at it like surfing. The waters are rough, but you can catch really nice waves and, do really well. So
good stuff.
Happy trading. We'll be back in a little bit with some more updates.
Good stuff. Peace.